Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast. I'm Reverend Emile Go and I am with you this Sunday. Our beloved Reverend Teresa is handling the duties of being mom at a bridal shower today. So she was off early with flowers and all that good stuff, as I understand it, to Tampa. So we also have what is a first for the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast, and that is an all-male cast. Got myself, Bobby Fieberts, and practitioner Bobby Fieberts. I love that he's a practitioner, and Len Seligman on music. And I consider most of the spiritual music folks as practitioners because when you watch them sing, hear the words that they write, they're going to a deep place. So I'm in appreciation for all of that and all the support. And if you're hearing me live, you made the time change all right. If you're hearing me recorded, you decided to tune in later. And so welcome wherever you are and however you're hearing this. We have, I think, one of my favorite topics today. So we will get to that in a few minutes. But all is well here. The weather is very nice here in Sarasota. I was just watching a couple of jet skis zoom across the Sarasota Bay, and in the clear blue sky above them. So let's just take a moment and center ourselves, turning within, that place where you experience your own sense of the Most High. That space of knowing that there is one presence and one power everywhere in the universe, that it is flowing and moving in great wonder and great infinite activity, expressing itself in, through, and as everything and everywhere. And I know it is a wonderful thing, for it expresses in, through, and as my precious being and the precious beings of each one of you. And every precious being around the world, regardless of faith or where they are or what they believe or whether they don't believe, it doesn't really matter. It's all God created. It's all here. It's all now. It's all happening and flowing in that one universal space. So I know that this time that we have together is an awesome time, a blessed time, a divine time, a time that we are lifted up into a higher understanding of who and what we are right here on this physical earth. Knowing absolutely that we are physical beings having a spiritual experience. Excuse me, I said that wrong. Spiritual beings having a physical experience. The body is not necessarily who we are. It is the spirit within, and the spirit that survives after the body no longer is useful. So I am grateful for our time to get together, grateful for our spiritual nature, grateful to know that all is already done, whole, perfect, and complete right here and right now. So I release this word into the law with that knowing and with that gratitude, and declare it to be done by saying, and so it is. And I will now turn over the airwaves to Len Seligman. Welcome, Len.
So good to be here this morning. And so I've played this song that I'm about to do. I've shared it before in this community, and I just felt like it was a good song to do again. It's called I Say Yes. And the theme today is letting go, letting spirit take charge of our lives. Emile talked in the email beforehand about subtraction rather than addition, stripping away the inessential and focusing on what really matters. And that's what this song is about. Downtown, office tower, windows sealed shut. Got a great view of the parking lot. I am in a rut. Shopping all day, air-conditioned mall. Do I need more stuff? Gap, Target, Macy's, and the Apple Store. Oh God, I've had enough. I drive myself to a peaceful place in the shade of a willow tree. I say yes to everyday miracles only open eyes can see. I say yes to everyday miracles. They're all around me. So I say yes to everyday miracles only open eyes can see. I say yes to everyday miracles. They're all around me. And isn't that the truth? Just feel that. Feel the miracle of our lives. The miracle that we're able to be here together. I say yes to everyday miracles only open eyes can see. I say yes to everyday miracles. They're all around me. Driven to distraction by each new shiny toy. But now I focus on what really matters and the things that bring me joy. I say yes to everyday miracles only open eyes can see. I say yes to everyday miracles. They're all around me. Grateful for the beauty I see. So many gifts bestowed on me. I wake up to the sweetest sound, a morning bird song choir, warmed by the glow of the rising sun. My spirit soars higher. I say yes to everyday miracles only open eyes can see. I say yes to everyday miracles. They're all around me. I say yes to everyday miracles only open eyes can see. I say yes to everyday miracles. They're all around me. They're all around me. Yeah. Thanks so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Lynn. I say yes. I say yes along with you. Thank you so much for that. And Reverend Emile, thank you for that prayer putting us right in the right spot. I'm doing the reading today. The reading is from this month's Science of Mind magazine, page 39. And the first quote is from Sharon Salzberg. It says, "To remember non-attachment is to remember what freedom is all about." And then the quote from Ernest Holmes, "The divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul." So the rest of this reading comes from Eugene Holden, who is a noted religious science practitioner. And what he says is, non-attachment is freedom. We become free to create, to serve, and to love from the heart. Non-attachment means we are not attached to the outcome when we create, serve, and love. As Ernest Holmes reminds us in the Science of Mind textbook, it is necessary that we release all thoughts as well as things that clutter up our lives. Being attached to the outcome of anything clutters our lives. A life that is cluttered does not have room to include the all with a capital A. Freedom is the birthright of everyone. Attachment keeps us from experiencing this freedom, keeps us from experiencing our highest good. To be free is to include the all. We must be willing to let go of old ways of thinking. It is high time we have a new thought that includes others. Be willing to let go of everything that keeps you from experiencing your God-given freedom. Let go of being attached to how you were treated years ago. Let go of being attached to the position you didn't get or perhaps lost. Non-attachment is an act of love. Letting go of all that does not serve your highest good is your path to being free. Trust that once you let go of what does not serve you, you will be ushered to a greater way of being. And Eugene's affirmation: I am open, receptive, and available to receive the highest and the best. I trust the divine and allow the good of God to be fulfilled as my life now. And now back to Len for another song.
I just saw I was on mute. Not good. So I've got a chant for you, and I encourage you to sing along. And there's not a lot of words to learn, and it's what came to me when I heard this theme of letting go and letting God or letting Spirit lead the way. And the words are, you are my spirit. I am thy body, my Holy One. So we're speaking to that presence, that spirit that infuses all of us, that infuses all of life, all matter, all everything. And it goes like this. And then I'll teach you the song, and then there'll be some movements that if you want to do them, they might enrich the experience by kind of putting it in your body. You are my spirit, I am thy body, my Holy One. And again, you are my spirit, I am thy body, my Holy One, 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 my Holy One. So if you want, you can try these movements or any other movements that come to you that'll just help you really embody that, this practice of letting go and letting Spirit really lead the way. So it's reaching up into the heavens. You are my spirit. And then gradually bringing it into your heart. I am thy body. And a little bow. My Holy One. And again, you are my spirit. I am thy body, my Holy One. And then when you repeat my Holy One, you can imagine like a little precious little baby in your arms. My Holy One, my Holy One. And then giving yourself a hug, feeling that hug from Spirit. My Holy One, as you bow. My Holy One. And back to the baby. My Holy One. My Holy One. My Holy One. My Holy One. You are my spirit. I am thy body, my Holy One. You are my spirit. I am thy body, my Holy One. My Holy One. My Holy One, 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 my Holy One. My Holy One, you are my spirit. I am thy body, my Holy One. You are my spirit. I am thy body, my Holy One. It's the most real part of who we are. My Holy One. 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 My Holy One, my Holy One. One more time through. You are my spirit. I am thy body, my Holy One. You are my spirit. Thy body, my Holy One, 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 my Holy One. My Holy One, my Holy One. Letting go into the truth of who we really are, which is love.
Thank you, Len, for just taking us to that just nice, deep, comfortable space. And not to give away the punchline, but the whole idea of release and letting go is to allow ourselves to remember who we truly are. I have as I was thinking about the topic for today and the talk and what I might say, I went through some of my own experiences with this concept of letting go. I release and let go, let God. And I go back to the early to mid 90s when I started reading people like Robert Schuller and Norman Vincent Peale and other authors and speakers who were talking about letting go of the past, letting go and forgiving and stepping into, it wasn't quite the Eckhart Tolle days yet of stepping into the now and being in the now. And then in the mid 90s, my wife and I discovered Agape International Spiritual Center, Michael Beckwith and Ricky Byers Beckwith, and a whole new relationship with this idea of I release began. And I always remember the first service after Dr. Michael finished his talk. He said, now close your eyes and hear the beginning of I release and I let go as if it was for the first time. Well, for my wife and I, it was the first time. And what we heard, and forgive me, Len and Bobby, as being the professionals, but I heard something like this. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. And I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Well, I was blown away. Number one, the voice that came on was a voice that just was phenomenal, because being in Los Angeles, Agape has numerous wonderful professionals and amateur talent, musicians, vocalists, who would show up and share their gifts on a Sunday morning. But the song just grabbed me, and the words grabbed me, and the idea of I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life. My arms are open wide because I'm only here for God. I'm only here for God. And I was like, what does that mean? Because remember, this was my first time. I was the newcomer. I was the one when they said, is anybody here for the first time? We were the ones that were raising our hand or standing up, whatever we did at the time. And I was hearing this, and it hit me. It hit me right in my heart. It hit me in a way that I didn't really fathom in the moment. It took a long time to really deeply understand the concept. And of course, Dr. Michael would talk about, and as you may have seen quoted in the announcement for this morning, that 100% of spiritual growth is letting go. It's like, wait a minute. I got to let go to grow? And he would say, yes, you need to let go. You need to let go of that stuff. You let go of attachment. Very Buddhist concept. Buddhism basically tells us we like to eliminate suffering, we let go of attachment. And in that release, so what are we attached to? And I think this is an important thing for all of us to grasp. Because it just, I've been reviewing this a lot lately for myself, and seemingly picking up things that we're talking about it and reminded me and taking me deeper. But, so yes, we have this concept of attachment. And I want to say we're letting go of attachments. We're not detaching ourselves. Detaching can be sort of could be a mental health issue. We're releasing these attachments to things that basically no longer serve us, no longer are giving us any spiritual food to grow on, to nurture us, to take us further. So what do we let go? We let go of the past. Can any of us go and go to, you saw a bookshelf behind Len this morning. Does he have his past in a book there that he can pull out, or that he can somehow re-experience because it's on the shelf? No. We may have pictures, we may have photo albums, but that's really not our past. That's memories of the past. But the experiences with people, the actual live activities that we did, no, they're gone. They don't exist anymore. And what else are we attached to? Oh, I'm so worried about this future. What future? It doesn't exist. And so really about 2 years into my thought and learning process, this guy Eckhart Tolle showed up talking about being in the now. And I said, wait a minute. Reverend Michael's been talking about that the whole time I've been listening to him. Now there's a book. Now there's Oprah Winfrey involved. Now there's, it's like a phenomenon around the world. Like Oprah Winfrey, Oprah, I forget the last name. It's not coming out. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Did a live program with Eckhart Tolle over several weeks, and something like 2 million people signed on worldwide. Everybody wanting to get this concept of being in the now, to be here now. So we let go of the past, we let go of the future. And I always say that we're letting go of what I call the illusion of control. Because we've all joked, some of us have joked, I'm not going to put this on anybody who doesn't consider themselves to be a control freak, but the idea of being control freaks, wanting to be in control, wanting to make sure that everything was happening according to some plan that I or you or someone else is putting forward. And of course, I'm the control freak, so it's my plan, of course, or my good idea of how your plan should be done. But in reality, it's a myth. We really can't control another person. We really can't control circumstances. We really can't control much of anything except our own thoughts and actions. So when we let go of all this stuff, we let go of the things that distract us from who we truly are. I always liked this thing back in the days when we were looking for weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East. Michael Beckwith used to talk about getting rid of the weapons of mass distraction in our lives. And he started with things like TV news and the media and things like that, but then took it to the personal, which is getting rid of our attachments to the past and the future and control and these things that don't serve us, that help. All those attachments make it easy to forget who we truly are. And as Len was saying in the last song, the point is to remember who we are. And who are we? Who are we? We are spirit creations. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. And the theme for Centers for Spiritual Living for this month of March is this idea of visioning, something that Michael Beckwith developed many, many years ago. He used it to develop his own spiritual center and has shared it worldwide, literally. And what would blur your vision of what your life is to be about other than your attachments, my attachments? They get in the way because they become things that we judge the world by. We judge our own world by. We judge our accomplishment or perceived lack of accomplishment or whatever in that space of our attachments. So in the visioning process, we ask, what is God's big idea for my life? What is, so I'm presuming we're doing it for ourselves as individuals, but what is God's big idea for my life? Well, how can you hear or feel or get a sense of God's big idea if you're stuck on what happened yesterday or some faux pas that you may have performed in some past relationship or past activity, or getting to the place where somebody's asking you, what is God's big idea for your life? When you allow yourself to be free of those things, recognizing that, yes, indeed, I love this one, treat as i.e. pray, and move your feet. Take the appropriate action that you can see today. Because I think we've all had the experience where you think you're moving in a particular direction and you believe you've taken step number one, and you find out after taking step number two, what you thought was step number one or two, let's say it that way. After you do that what you thought was going to be step three isn't the right step to take. There's a step 2.5, or you need to skip step 3 and go straight to step 4, or whatever it may be. Because in a place where you are clear of past, future, and control, you're open to the possibility of how can this unfold? How will this life of mine, how will this activity that my life is involved with unfold in a fresh and new and to express itself in its greatest spirit way? It allows us, again, to hearken back to the reading from that Bobby did for us. It allows us to have a new thought. A new thought. One of my friends used to say, well, we're in a new thought philosophy. Maybe we should have a new thought. And he was being a little facetious and maybe a little sarcastic to a degree, but he's also right. The idea is to have a new thought. If we're not happy with where our life is today, we need a new thought. And how do we get to a new thought? We have to be able to let go of whatever the old is. Let go of whatever we think the future ought to be. What the future ought to be, and move toward the future as we see it, as it is seen for us through spirit. That's a tall order. Give up what sort of has been the comfort zone of the past and some desired future and my myth of control, and I got to give all that up. I got to give that up for what? For something that's better. Well, how do I know it's better? How do I move into that space of knowing that it really is better? We have to give up. We have to give up the worrying about thinking that we know how to do it. To quote Jesus the Christ, he said, who by worrying can add 1 cubit to his stature. In other words, worrying is not going to add anything to us. And what do we worry about? Futures, or we worry about how we did the past. Again, attachments. So you got Buddha, you got, as Michael used to call him, elder brother Jesus. And if you read the Quran, which is really a beautiful book, Muhammad saying the same thing. Let go of it. Be free in the moment. Be free in the spirit. Be free to express fully. And then we can get to this place of vision. And to get there, we need to trust. We need to trust. One of my favorite songs from Ricky Byers. Actually, there are 2 different songs. One starts with just 2 words. Trust God. Trust God. Trust God. That's a concept. That's an idea. That's something that's within, because it comes from within. The other one was trust love. Trust love. And I say very often, Spirit God is the love intelligence that governs the universe. I borrowed that liberally and blatantly from Michael Beckwith. The love intelligence that governs the universe. The love intelligence, stepping into knowing that I am supported, that I can trust and know and have faith that there is a love intelligence that is guiding my life, that is guiding the world, that is guiding us all. So now we move into a space of, can we have a vision for our lives? We can have a vision now, a vision that is free of the trappings of all this stuff that distracted us. All these things that caused us to be churning and spinning in our own minds. We talk about that, the possibilities, then heaven on earth. And inevitably somebody will say, where is hell? Well, hell, if you want to go looking for it, you've experienced it probably at one moment or another, and some of us more than others, is all that space of worry and doubt and fear that comes from being attached to all that stuff we don't need to be attached to. Are you getting the theme here? That we have free ourselves up, that we get out of what can be a living hell when we're constantly worrying and constantly regretting and being ashamed and shaming ourselves and belittling ourselves and all that stuff that can happen. I've been there, done that myself. So I'm not talking from a lack of experience. I'm talking about I know that letting that stuff, that kind of ugly part of whatever we want to look at, and I think it's kind of like the dirt we've swept under the carpet. In this case, we're not sweeping anything under the carpet. We know it's there. We recognize it's there. It's been there. It's done its thing, and it's gone. That's all we're really saying. It's not that it didn't happen. It's not like we're somehow living in La La Land or have lost our minds. It's there. It's happened. We've had maybe a bad relationship or one or two or three or whatever. We've made mistakes. We've done things that we wish we hadn't have done. All that stuff. But it's done. You might make amends, as suggested if you've had any experience with the 12-step program. Actually, coincidentally and really not so much, I participate in a 12-step program, Overeaters program, and Thursday the group was reading, which is step 3 of the program, which is, guess what? Let go and let God. Because step 1 and 2 are all about recognizing I can't control my eating behavior. Step 2 is recognizing that there's a higher power I can lean into, and step 3 is saying, okay, I let go. I'm done trying to do this. I'm going to let God be the guide here. And I was thinking as I was finding out that that's what was the topic of the day, it's like, oh, okay, so somebody's pointing me in the direction to Sunday, because they seem to be hitting me all through the week. Release and let go and let God kind of messages coming through. So it's a theme. It's there. It's there. It's a theme for success. You're wondering why maybe you don't have success in your life. Well, look at what you hold on to that might be literally getting in the way of you moving toward something that you consider to be positive or successful, however you want to talk about that, so that we can have a vision for our lives, not a visualization of something that you can see or the way you would like it to be, but a true vision of what is it that I'm called to do? And many years ago now, for me, that vision came forth. I was in a very release and let go moment. I was in a very open space, and what came through as the vision was ministry. And interesting, I'll tell this story. I did about a 4-day process. There was something I found at the time that I used. And the last day of it was really, what is the vision for my life? And I was writing at the same time I was doing this exercise. And the very last thing was two items. The next to last item was finish my practitioner training, and then the last item was go to the school of ministry and become a minister. And I stood up from the table where I was writing, and I thought, well, how can I do that? I'm a partner in a consulting firm. I have all this stuff going on. How can I go to ministerial school? That was at about, I'm going to say 6 o'clock in the morning. At 6 o'clock that very evening, that same day, 12 hours later, my business partners and I parted ways. And so you heard me say the objection I had in the morning, how can I do this? Because I'm a partner in a consulting firm. And 12 hours later, I was no longer a partner in a consulting firm. In fact, I was going to be unemployed the next day. And after the initial trauma of the experience of getting that message, I was delighted. I was set free. I could feel that all the baggage had been released because I recognized that I had been worrying about how the company was performing, how my partners were performing, how I was performing, how our staff of, I think we had 16 or 18 people at the time, how they were performing, how the clients were going to, all that stuff. And I was free. I was free. And I was on a new path. I was on a vision path. I was on a path that was going to take me to this other space. Now I was still I was still in the first year of practitioner training. And I think it was the next day or a couple of days later, I was at the facilities that Agape has in Los Angeles, and I saw a good friend of mine and who was at the same place as me with first year of practitioner training. And he said, "Hey, guess what I just found out?" I said, "What?" And he said, "We can go to ministerial school." Actually, he said, "I can," because he really wanted to be, he knew he wanted to be a minister. He says, "I can go to ministerial school while I'm in the second year of practitioner training." And I looked at him and gave him a big hug and said, "That's amazing, because I just decided I'm going to ministerial school." So the following, this was, I think in April, the following September, we both started ministerial school and our second year of practitioner training. In some ways, it was a mistake. In some ways, it was the greatest thing that ever happened. But that's in the past. I don't worry about that anymore, because here I am. But Spirit made the way, cleared the way. There's readings and spiritual teachings that talk about Spirit, straightens the crook, makes the crooked places straight. In fact, I just heard it in Martin Luther King quoting it in his "I Have a Dream" speech, making the crooked places straight and the low places high, and all that stuff. That's what we lean into. That's what we trust. That's what we have faith in. That thing that's unseen, but we know that it's there, because when we're really paying attention, when we're clear of the weapons of mass distraction and cleared out the living hell in our own minds, we can experience it, because we can notice it, we can see it, we can feel it, we can be participants in it. So that's what we're about today. That's what we're about in this idea of release and let go. Release all that stuff. Release it, let it go. It's not serving you. It's not helping you. And let God, let Spirit, whatever word you like to use, let your belief, your faith, your trust in that higher power, that infinite love intelligence that governs the universe, that flow and movement that guides your life, that creative energy that is the source of your being and that perfection, to take you forward into this new space, the space of I am free. I am free. Just feel that moment. Feel that moment. Just if take your hands and maybe put them on your heart and just sort of throw them out to the sky the way Len was just showing us how to do. And just imagine that you're scattering all those attachments, all that past, all that future, all that stuff, all that worry, doubt, and fear. You're just throwing it out there and away, knowing that it's going to fall into the nothingness from which it came. And just feel that moment of freedom. And as you're in that moment of freedom, let's close our eyes for just a moment before we bring Bobby back. And just know with me that there's that one power and one presence, that infinite love intelligence, as I've been talking about, the infinite love intelligence that governs the universe, that is the inspiration of all things, that is the creative energy in, through, and as you and I and everyone, everywhere, no exceptions. That we flow and move in this infinite intelligence, that we are one in it, one as it, that we are one with all of the creations of that love intelligence, and we flow and move in this very moment. And so I know that as we flow and move in the love intelligence that is spirit all the time, and that we are these spiritual beings having this physical experience, that we are lifted on high, that each and every activity is guided in that infinite intelligence, in that infinite perfection, allowing us to be free, allowing us to be fully expressed, allowing us to remember who we truly are, allowing us to simply know in each and every moment that we are well taken care of. And it is this truth that I am so grateful for this morning, this truth that I know governs my life and governs your life and is there for as much as we allow it to be there, that I know it is the truth. I trust it, I have faith in it, and I am grateful for it. So I release this word into the law, knowing that it is already done, already perfect, whole, and complete, that it cannot return to us unfulfilled, but only fulfilled thereof. And as I release it into law, again, with that great gratitude, I know it is done, I know it is good, I know it is perfect, and I know it is God. And so it is. Love and blessings. And now over to my dear friend Bobby.
Hello. I'm just pretending to be Bobby, that's all. So I love what Rev G just said about releasing worry, doubt, and fear. So maybe just take a deep breath, and on the out breath, feel that releasing happening, worry, doubt, and fear, just releasing. And so what's left when we release that? Well, what's left is the truth of who we are, which is love, is light that we can share with the world. So just picture that you're not just alone. You and your Zoom screen. That we are somehow, we're love streaming, as Teresa says, and that we're all together singing. And this is a song I know you know about shining our light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Well, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Some say it's dark, I can't see, but love lights up the world for me. Some say turn around and hide, but we got the power to change the tide. Life is not some sad old story. I believe we are bound for glory. The fire of love is yours and mine, so let your little light shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I let go and I let God, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, I let go and I let God, I'm gonna let it shine. I let go and I let God, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Well, even in the darkness, I'm gonna let it shine. Even in the darkness, I'm gonna let it shine. Even in the darkness, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So feel that flame inside your heart. All we gotta do is just get out of the way, let go, let God, and that light will just burn brightly and illuminate the whole world. Well, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everybody, well, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, well, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, yeah. So great to be with you here. Be well.
Woo! So you may notice that sometimes I bounce a little because I don't have a regular office chair. I have the largest balance ball that I could find, and that's my seat. So while Len was singing, I was grooving, and you know, I could do a whole nother talk on the light and letting it shine and all that, but I will hold back on that expression because now it's time for our offertory, and this is a time of great expression as well, allowing the gifts of spirit to flow through us. For we have all received gifts at some level or another. Maybe we feel like we've only received a little amount of gifts or a lot of gifts. It doesn't really matter. Whatever we've received, we have received. And it's what we've been able to receive, and now we're able to give forth from that flow. It is a flow, it is a movement, it is spirit moving in through and as us. So I know in this moment, I would encourage you to give freely from the flow. Keep it moving, keep it flowing, keep it growing as you, and support our center. Support this beautiful thing, this beautiful idea that came through the visioning process that started with Bobby and Teresa many years ago and is expressed through all of the rest of us as we've come together when we were meeting physically and speaking with Teresa. I think it was just yesterday or Friday, talking about seeing a point where we can meet again together physically. That's in the not too distant future now, as we're all getting vaccinated and we're getting this thing called pandemic put behind us, and we can be back in our space. And I would love to see the center's bank account full and brimming over, so that when we start up again, that it's fully supported and no concerns about the accoutrements of supply that so often slow us down. So in this moment, I am just grateful for the gift and grateful for the giver. I know each is blessed. I know that it is given from that place of great gratitude for all that has been received and will be received. For as we give, we receive more, because we create the space for more to be received in our lives individually and collectively. So in this moment of blessing, it is all good and it is all done. And I am grateful, and so it is. And now over to Bobby.
Thank you, Reverend Emile. Thank you, everybody. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. All right, thank you, everybody. I have just a few announcements. First of all, you would already know these announcements if you're on our mailing list, so go to CSLCulturalCoast.org to sign up for the mailing list. Thursday night meditation with Julie Birch. How to get on that is on that website and in that email. So her Thursday night meditation at 6:30 coming up this week, and also her class. Her class begins tomorrow. I think there's still plenty of time to get into it. So let us know if you'd like to be part of her meditation treatment class. And I'll be posting the Zoom link to our social gathering right after the church. I'll be posting that right in the comments. So click on that if you want to join our social afterwards. If you would like prayer support, email prayer@cslculturalcoast.org. And we're going to end up with the rest of that song that Emile started earlier, called I Release, from Ricky Byers Beckwith. Sing along if you know it. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. I am only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit, and I'm only here for God. There was a time in my life, thought I'd have to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit, and I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. I am only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit, and I am only here for God. I am free in the Spirit, and I'm only here for God. Release it all. Let it go.